Okay, so we are still doing Facebook Lives every day, and I don't know why I say we. I'm doing Facebook Lives every day, and we're talking today about marketing. So, how does marketing work? Now, to be honest, the first 4 years I was in this business, I didn't do any marketing. Right, I bought everything at auction. Or online auction or from realtors, and people talk to me about leads and marketing. I don't even know what they were talking about. But after a few years, I realized that we couldn't scale. I couldn't scale this business, and then I realized that the only way to really make money is to buy at a deep enough discount by going direct to seller. So the way marketing works when you are in the real estate business in New York is that you get a list of people that are likely to buy. So there's really two ways to get that list. There's niche lists, which a lot of them are available in other parts of the country that some are not available in New York. So it's some people with some kind of either problem with the property or problem with themselves. So some kind of distress. If people are in distress, they usually want to sell. Or you can get broad lists of people that are likely to sell because they own the property a long time or their age or whatever reason is that they are more likely to sell. So the marketing, that's the first part of the process, is get those lists. The next part of the process is you have to skip trace the list unless you're trying to just mail the list. So mail works for sure. We do a lot of mail. If you just need an address, you can get that from the list. I can't believe how messy my hair is. I really got to get a haircut today. So if you are just mailing, you can do that. But mail is expensive, right? Mailing, every postcard is at least 35 cents. If you're dealing with a list of at least 10,000, you need to mail multiple times. So just for example, if you have a list of 10,000, every time you mail it, if you're going to mail that list, it's $3,500 to $4,000 if you're doing a postcard. And you should not mail anybody once unless you're going to mail them 6 or 7 times. That's something that I made a mistake with when I first started. You need to mail multiple times. So that's very, very expensive. Um, Assuming you're not going to mail because you're just starting out, then the other way you're going to contact these prospects, and I call them prospects because they're not leads yet, is that you are going to call them, text them, RVM them, which means ringless voicemail them. So if you're going to do that, you need phone numbers. So the original lists are usually not going to have phone numbers. You're going to need to skip trace that list. So skip tracing the list, you have to get good data, right? I have really good sources for skip tracing. Get tier 1 level data. My data is so good it even gives you a 2-hour window each day of the week as to when to call them from the carriers. And you got to skip trace the data, and then you got to call them. So the easiest way to market to them is, and the least expensive way to market to them is just to call them on your cell phone, maybe using a Google Voice number, or to text them really on your cell phone using a Google Voice number. So if you are marketing to those people, you're going to then contact them. You're going to reach out to them, and you're going to basically say the same message to them, no matter what list it is. And your basic message to them is, hey, are you interested in selling the property? And they're going to say one of a few things to you. Most of them are going to say no. The people that say yes, you then have to go through a deeper qualification process. So you got to get into why they're selling and when they want to sell and those kind of questions. And I have a whole script. If you're interested, I can give you the script that I use, and I can tell you how to speak to them. So once those people express an interest and you see that they are interested in selling it to you at a price that you might be able to buy it at, I then go on an appointment. And some people do this virtually and they never meet with them. For my area in New York, I believe going on an appointment is probably a good idea, but everybody has different opinions about that. So after the appointment starts a whole sales process and sales conversion. And I'm going to do another video, the next video, on sales conversion and converting a lead into a deal. So, but when you start marketing, sorry for the movement of my hands each time. When you start marketing, you're dealing with prospects. These are people that have some reason to be likely to sell. But after you qualify them and they've expressed interest, then I consider them a lead. So a lot of people have different, Assad, you can contact me offline. I'll tell you about the skip tracing source. I have a source I use. But a lot of people have different definitions of a lead, right? Some people define a lead as only someone who has a problem that you can solve. That's a pretty good definition. Because I'm a licensed broker, I also take listings, and I consider a lead anyone who has a property in an area I want to buy and wants to sell it, even if they want to sell it for more money than I want to pay. Because what I found is that over time, if I follow up with these people, either their circumstances change or the motivation changes, and somebody who's interested in selling for too much right now may be someone interested in selling later down the line. So for a price that you can buy. So a prospect is anyone on a list that you bought. Once you've qualified them, they're then a lead. Once they're a lead, you want to then go on an appointment and convert them into a contract where you're in contract to buy the property. And that is the marketing funnel. That's the way it goes. Prospects turn into leads, turn into appointments. Every appointment that I go on, I make an offer. Even if the person tells me they want $1 million for the house and I only want to pay $100,000, I'll still make an offer. And a percentage of those offers, somewhere between 1 in 3 and 1 in 5, depending on how qualified it was, are going to turn into contracts and turn into deals. Right? Once in a while, a contract fall through, but most of the time when I go into contract, the deal closes. So I'd say half the properties that I go into contract in, I wholesale, where I will assign the contract to somebody else, and half of them I close, either to buy the property and rehab it myself, or to wholesale the property, which means doing minimal work and then selling it retail. But that is the marketing process. It's very simple. It's not easy. It's hard as hell. You got to deal with a tremendous amount of rejection. Most people are going to tell you, no, F off, take me off the list. So you have to be able to develop enough thick skin and enough experience that you can. But I would say without a doubt, that is the funnel. Prospects become leads, become appointments, turn into contracts. That is the funnel. The next video I'm going to do is going to be on the basics of sales conversion. So once somebody's an appointment, how do you turn that into a contract? Just housekeeping, right? So I don't know if you're watching this on YouTube or you're watching this on Facebook, but please like, share, subscribe on YouTube if you haven't. Our next virtual meeting for the Nassau County RIA is June 25th, Thursday, 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. If you're on YouTube, you'll see the information below. I'm going to keep doing these Facebook Lives and then put them onto YouTube after I download them. So I hope you got good value out of this, and thank you for watching.